Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2 Episode 9 is finally here. This is the episode that I have been waiting for. Not to say that the previous episodes were bad, I mean, I have my issues with them. You can just check out my reaction to those episodes. But basically it just boils down to like some pacing issues and whatnot. Story-wise, I think it's just fine. But this is the episode that I have been waiting for. This is going to be covering one of my favorite chapters of the manga, so I'm really looking forward to this. I'm really excited to see the direction and just the overall execution for this specific episode. If you are new to the channel, I am a manga reader, as you may realize by now, but I will not be spoiling anything concerning about the manga. So if you are an anime only and you're just watching this to see the perspective of a manga reader, then you're pretty much fine. No spoilers in the video, and hopefully no spoilers in the comments as well. So if you are a manga reader and you wanna say something in the comments, please put a spoiler, warning first. If you are going to be spoiling future events, because there are anime onlys watching my videos, so if you could kindly do that, I would greatly appreciate it. Last but not least, there are two versions of this video. You're watching the highlight version right now, but there is a full-length timer-based reaction in the description below, completely free. You can just go watch it right now. So basically all you have to do is just have your own copy of Attack on Titan. You can sync it up with the timer and you're good to go. Also, I just started a Patreon page, so if you want to support me, you can go ahead, head over to the Patreon. Links are in the description below. You get early access. Right now you're getting early access to Death Note and Psycho Pass reactions, and there's also a poll going on for tier 1 subscriptions. So there's a poll going on to decide on what manga that I will be reacting and reading in April. So check that out. So if you want me to react to Berserk, for example, go ahead. Links are in the description for the Patreon. And I guess with that being said, let's dive into the episode. Jean. The muffled sound. Sealing himself off. Ignorance, right? Ignorance is bliss. Adds more to like Jean's interactions in the previous episode. Yes, genocide is a mistake. No music, love it.
従来の兵団組織は壊滅して、もう私は君たちの上官でもない。それが私たちやこの島を守るためであっても、エレンを止めたいんです。
The resolve.
ミカサ。
エレンが始祖の力を維持できたとしても、あと4年の命なら、その後この島はどうなりますか？その後の何十年後の未来もずっと。
These shot compositions, though.
でも。そうやって可能性を探してるうちに時間が過ぎて何一つ解決できなかった。だからエレンは世界を消そう。
虐殺はダメだ。
Props to John's voice acting there.
肯定する理由があってたまるか。
And Hanji too.
ジャンの言う通りエレンがこうなったのは私の不甲斐ない理想論のせいだ。
We're not getting an opening.
人類の自由のために心臓を捧げた仲間が見ている気がする。大半は壁の外に人類がいるなんて知らずに。
The gravity of the situation, right?
この島だけに自由をもたらせばそれでいい。そんなケチなこと言う仲間はいないだろう。
じさん、俺はまだ調査兵団です。
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
誰か手伝ってくれないかな。睨み合ってないでさ。
The unlikely alliance.
散々殺し合った者同士で飯を囲むか。面白いな。
Love the color too.
楽園がな。
The purple backgrounds and everything.
つまり正義に目覚めたというわけか。
正義だと。あんたらが送り続けてきた巨人に抵抗してきた俺たちが悪だったのか。いいか、俺たちが必死に戦ったのは巨人に食い殺されたくなかったからだ。それが悪魔の所業だって言いてえのかよ、おっさん。
お前らが必死に戦った結果がこれだ。違うか。
He's not wrong.
そもそも壁破られ。
Like every perspective has their own like.
エレンはこんなことしてねえよ。地ならしまで追い詰めたのはお前らだろうが。
おい、今さら歴史の話をしようっていう。
The fucking cycle of violence.
まったくガキと話してるようだ。
Talking to a child in a forest. Children of the forest. Having the need to get out of this forest. To get out of this cycle of violence. In this very exact spot. Like, this is the reason why I love this chapter. Because we are actually tackling about this topic. Like,
それであんたたちに殺せるの？エレンを殺せるの？エレンを止める方法は殺すだけじゃない。あんたならそう言うと思ったけど、それじゃあ何？説得でもするの？それで考え直すくらいのやつが人類大虐殺なんて実行する？
they're racist. Love that they are focusing on them this entire shot. Like, we're seeing their emotion every time Annie is asking them a question. Like their expression is the answer to. Oh, this is such a good episode.
あんたにとってエレンより大事なものなんて考えたこともないだろうからね。つまり私を殺すべきだと。あんたの気持ちはよくわかる。私もエレンを止めたい理由は一つ。マーレにいる父親を殺されたくないから。
Throughout this entire season, people holding hands is a sign of hostility because it's always bloody. Annie doing the exact same thing but without a cut hand is basically saying, no, I want peace.
頼りは東人家だ。清美さん曰く地ならしの視察用に。
Oh yeah, the Azumabito. You guys remember them? Oh god.
故郷がこのまま踏み潰されてもいいのかよ。
I don't know what to say. This is such a good episode. This is exactly the direction that I was hoping for.
クソ野郎のマーレ人だからだ。
レベリューであなたにまんまとやられたからね。
Here we go.
ごく一般的なマーレ人家庭の出自をマーレに併合された小国出身と偽った。ジークと初めて出会った時から自らを嘘で塗り固め人類史に刻まれんとする。その欲深さに敬服いたします。
世界を救う。これ以上に人を引きつける甘美な言葉があるでしょうか。何億もの命を救うという崇高な胸の高鳴りに身を任せ、これまでの遺恨などなきもののように喉へと流し込む。それが今私の目に映るあなた方の姿です。 少し思い出してみません？
This is great. This is great. I feel like that's the only thing that I've been saying.
this
is great.
に穴を開けたことでどれだけのエルディア人が巨人に食い殺されたでしょうね。アニー・レオンハート、あなたも随分と調査兵団を殺したそうですね。
Again, the facial expressions.
普段は良識人のあなたがあそこまで派手に軍港を破壊するとは、アルミン、
Oh,
民間人を含めどれだけの死体の山と戦果を上げたことでしょう。
love the burning embers that is like flying towards Armin at that time.
そしてそこにいる少女ガビによってサシャが撃ち殺されました。
Fuck, this is such a good episode. And the shot compositions too, my god.
お互いのわだかまりをここで打ち明けて心を整理させようとしてくれてるんだよな。お前も大事な仲間の頭を打ちまくってまで叶えたかった幻想的な夢が全て無意味に終わって死にたがってたのに。
以前教えてもらったあなたの親友の名前は、そうだ、マルコだ。
Annie and Reiner's expression there, just for a split second.
私がマルコから立体起動装置を取り上げた。だからマルコは巨人に食われ。
兄は俺の命令に従っただけだ。
Trying to take the blame. It's my responsibility, right? Fuck. Even in season 4, Marco is always here.
マルコはその場から動けないまま巨人に食われた。
Fuck, loving the shots and the editing.
マルコは
Just the quick
最後に
cuts and all.
俺たちはまだ話し合ってないって。
We haven't had enough to talk.
そして怒りに身を任せてその巨人を殺した。よくもマルコをとか言いながら。
もういいって。
許せないでくれ。俺は本当にどうしようもない。
もういいって。
すまない。
ごめんなさい。私たちはパラディ島のあなたたちを皆殺しにすることが希望でした。そしたらお父さんやお母さんがレベリオンのみんなが消えてなくなることになりました。ずうずうしいことは分かってますが、皆さんの助けが必要です。どうか私たちに力を貸してください。
地ならしを一緒に止めてください。
お願いします。
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 話せ。
ダメだ。言っちゃった。
Such a powerful scene. Like the culmination of. I forgot. I forgot that Levi said that. Jean again ignoring the
出
things,
発の時間だ。
but then makes up his mind. Oh, the lighting, the morning lighting, beautiful. a very much needed conversation for like everybody.
大丈夫か
うん大丈夫
And look at this.
そうかライナーお前には謝らねえからな
ああ、それでいい。
港がイエーガー派に占拠されています
Goddamn motherfucking flock. Damn. That was a great episode. I do have some criticisms, but I'll save it for later. But this is mostly a well-executed episode. The pacing for the next episode is going to be interesting, considering we know the leak that where the final episode is actually going to end, so I'm actually interested to see how the next episode's pacing is gonna be, because Alright, Season 4, Part 2, Episode 9, Night of the End. As I've said before, this is one of my most anticipated episodes of the season, and honestly, it didn't disappoint me. I think this is one of the best episodes of Shingeki, period. Again, some criticisms, and I think I'm just gonna say it right now because everything else has been pretty positive for me. The negatives for me, I would say, are the character models. Some were inconsistent from time to time, you know, apparent, I guess, scheduling issues or having being too rushed. The same thing happened with like Part 1, where the later half of the season has a lot of character like errors or what do you say, differences, you know, and again, same thing is happening here in Part 2, but we're like 4 episodes left, and like everything else this season has been pretty solid, and so I'm cool with it. I'm just sad that it has to be in this episode where it's fully like visually seen, like some of the imperfections in the character models, especially their faces, but that's pretty much it. Story-wise and pacing-wise especially has been perfect. Pacing-wise, this is perfect. Let's just go start at the beginning. Here we are seeing like here we're seeing like Jean imagining being himself safe as a, you know, it is his dream, right, to be safe, to live a long happy life, and have a family. This is a great shot, like the overblown white visuals, basically emphasizing that this is a dream. Jean himself looks pretty good. Who is this female character? A lot of people speculate that this is actually Mikasa, and honestly, I can't really answer. I think it can actually be Mikasa because it is Jean's dream, but I will leave this to you to decide, because I don't think the manga even like acknowledges or like confirms any of this. It's just a woman with black hair, and Mikasa is like a prime like candidate for it, but nothing too major about it, you know. And here is where like how do I call it? The themes for this episode, you know, and this is going back to like some of the things that are happening like in like the previous episode, which is like ignorance and like when enough is enough, or when you get blinded by your ego that you would keep moving forward despite knowing the consequences. Jean obviously doesn't want this. He is obviously conflicted. He is conflicted. And it shows. Mikasa isn't as conflicted as Jean, because Mikasa's like, alright, let's stop Eren. Not necessarily kill Eren, but let's stop Eren. Jean is more like, I don't know what to do. I am giving the opportunity to live a happy life or fight Eren and risking my own life. And the fact that Jean actually agrees to the alliance goes to show again how much Jean has improved as a character. His development has been so good in this entire series. Another thing that I really love about this episode is the lack of music and the overall cinematography, the shot compositions. A lot of the visual storytelling is just based on the visuals alone. Like you don't have to look at the characters, you just have to look at some of the stuff surrounding them, but that in and of itself is representing the characters. There's symbolism there. I mean, later on in the episode, obviously when we are looking around at the forest, obviously alluding to children of the forest, we need to get these children out of the forest. The forests are essentially us as well. I mean them, the characters, and them sitting around in the trees, you know, basically trying to amend past hatred. Windows can also symbolize, you know, looking towards something, but that something is blocked. You can see it perfectly, it's right there, but you can't really reach it because it is again blocked by the window. And that is basically Jean right now, and a lot of people here. Is like, depending on which side you are on, you can definitely see the destruction, but you can also definitely see the safety. It's a matter of whether you want to go into them or do you want to stay in your respective place. Jean right now and everybody else is inside a building. They're in a safe place. The camera is looking outwards towards the rubble, the destruction. It's showing us this is what lies beyond. If you want to do it, you have to go outside of this boundary, this wall, as you know, Attack on Titan would call it, and essentially leaving your safe place. Again, this is a conflict, a dilemma that Jean and some other characters here are also facing, and I love that we are not just, you know, it isn't just spoon-fed to us through dialogue, but it's also just there visually, if you can understand like the underlying tones of it. Really great stuff. This entire scene where Hanji is giving the speech while the credits are rolling is beautiful, is great. Ending with all of these other characters who we lost. Wait a minute. Wait, what? Wait, Pixis's assistant also died? Wait, what? Wait. Bro, I thought she lived. I read the manga and like she's not there. I think she's not there, and I'm like, oh, Pixis's assistant survives, obviously, because she didn't drink the wine. But but she's right here. I'm so sad. I am actually sad. Fuck. Anyways, Erwin, Mike, you can see Hannes right over there. Petra, why am I forgetting your names? Old, Levi Squad, essentially. Like these are all characters that you have met, that we have met, and it just kind of goes to show like how much sacrifice we have taken. Seeing Erwin again. Who this? That's not Ymir. I don't think that's Ymir. I don't think that is. Again, Marco. Oh, we get to see Marlo. Right over there. Look at that. But yeah, Jean, look at that. Marco, and Marco again. Every time Marco appears, he has this presence that has been that he has carried from way back when, from season 1. Like, nobody forgets Marco, and even now, his presence is essentially key into the alliance actually forming up, because he is basically the final string that is kind of connecting between the two of this cycle of hatred. And we will get to that later. The background color for this entire section of the forest I fucking love. Really adds more to the scene in my opinion. Again, love the fact that there's no music, and loving the shots as well. The entire episode is basically just them talking about, like their past grievances and trying to amend. And I mentioned this in the reaction. And this shot as well. Like this is essentially a still frame showing Armin, Mikasa, and Connie's reaction of Annie's questions. And what I love about this is also, it's not just about them talking, but it's also translated through their expressions as well. Like they go through different expressions here. Like look at Connie, like from anger to realization, like these subtle animation expressions that it's subtle, but at the same time it shows you character, and I really appreciate that. Annie and Mikasa once again having this sort of rivalry. I can't fucking say. Rivalry. Why is that so hard for me to say? Their animosity. I'm just gonna say animosity. Their animosity from like season 1. That's like from way back when. These two have a thing. Also, why they have a Lost Girls of Yay. But like these two looking at each other, wanting to fight. Annie almost hurting herself, but then she stops, and then she shows her hand. And if you notice, ever since season 4 part 1, this gesture right, of showing one's hand by Titan shifters has always been a sign of animosity and a sign of threat. Is a threatening act. It's always a bloody hand. You see it with Eren most of the time. You see it with Reiner in season 4 part 2, and you even see it with Annie when she was waking up. So Annie showing his gesture like this. At least this is like my interpretation. This is my view of it. I don't know what like the official statement from Isayama is, but like to me, this is a sign of, hey, I mean you no harm. Let's talk about this. I also want peace. There's also somebody that I want to save. This is a sign of peace again, and this is what I love about this entire episode. Again, it's visual storytelling at its finest, and you don't need to spoon-fed your audience with like exposition, like please stop, you know, like even Annie's like dialogue right now. It's believable. It's what's the word I'm looking for? Natural. And it also speaks to what she is actually trying to say. Hey, I don't want to fight. There's also people that I love, that I want to save. I want to stop this rumbling as well. We may have different opinions on how to end the rumbling, but at the very least our goals align, you know. So there you go. Like even Mikasa is like, yeah, I don't know how we're actually going to defeat Eren at this point, you know. This shot, I feel like, is budgetary cuts, but at the same time I think it's a brilliant budgetary cut. When I say budgetary cut, I mean like there's no time for them to actually animate stuff, so they just have this one big wall background art, and then they just pan it up or down or left and right, whatever, and then just fill it with voiceover. And to me, it works because, again, visually we're looking at the forest, and again, symbolism, children of the forest, blah blah blah, all that stuff. I'm not gonna repeat it. And then we have Yelena. Yelena, this entire sequence is basically just spitting out facts. Like Yelena is like the what's the name for it? Not the devil's advocate, but she is the voice of not reason, but like facts. You know, like I don't know what word I'm actually trying to say, but Yelena is basically spitting facts right now. Basically saying, you know, what is this alliance hypocrisy thing? You're working together despite, you know, Reiner, you've done things in the past that affected this. Annie, you've done this. Armin, you basically nuked an entire city, you know, like, and all of you are talking high and mighty about saving the world, and yet you yourselves are devils. So what is this hypocrisy? That is basically Yelena talking, and I think it's also like an amazing point in the story. Yelena is basically saying, yeah, these characters are also bad in a sense, like from every other angle and perspective. These people are also villains in their own right. This is why we focus and we follow Marley in the first part of final season, because they are essentially the good guys in that arc, and from their perspective the aliens are the bad guys. And then once we flip over to the alien side, suddenly they're the good guys, and then the Marlians are the bad guys. again, it's this gray area that Isayama is writing about, and Yelena is basically saying, yeah, you hypocrites, all of you have done crazy, stupid, and vile things that basically broke the Geneva Convention. And she has a point. Like from her perspective, she is also not wrong. There is no right and wrong in Attack on Titan. Everybody has their faults and everybody has their rights. That's what I love about the show. You can defend people and you can hate on others, and then you can have other people doing the exact opposite. It brings up great and interesting debates and conversations. Necessarily, there's no like objectively good things in Attack on Titan. Like I'm sorry, wrong word. Objectively good characters in Attack on Titan, because obviously all of them have done pretty fucked up shit. And it's a matter of perspective again. Would you see them as heroes or would you see them as villains? Same thing with Eren. Would you see him as a hero trying to defend Eldia, or do you see him as a massive psychopath that wants to end the world? Hey, who knows? Talking about Yelena's past, blah blah blah. Great shots. Yeah, this moment when Yelena basically mentions Marco, Annie and Rainer froze. Oh shit, we're bringing this topic, and this is something that they need to talk about for a very long time if they want to amend their relationship and essentially break the cycle, because right now the cycle is still going. It's a non-stop cycle because nobody is apologizing and nobody is willing to stand up and face their own consequences. And that is exactly what is happening right now. From every character too. Annie about to say things, and then Reiner basically stepping out and saying, no, this is my fault. This is my responsibility. As we have seen in Final Season Part 1, Episode 3. Like, this is Reiner's plan, essentially. Reiner is the one who wants to do this. He takes responsibility. And that's good on him. And the thing about Reiner is that, like, even after Reiner has, like, told them the truth, right? Yeah, this is my fault. And even, like, Jean and Hanji is kind of, like, forgiving. Reiner still continues this. Again, it shows you how much guilt that Reiner actually felt when he did that. So, and to the fact that just saying it once isn't enough. He needs to let all of this go. He needs to let it out, even if this is going to hurt Jean's feelings. This is something that Reiner needs to do. And this is what Jean needs to do as well. Jean needs to hear the things that Reiner is saying, and Reiner needs to let out all the things that he has been holding up for these past years. And thus, again, as I've said and mentioned before, the cycle sort of broke. Where one side eventually stands up and one side eventually saying, alright, let's settle this once and for all. And then we move on. And that's what happens. They settle it. These past mistakes, these past actions, and they have atoned it. Whether it be from Gabby willing to get kicked by Jean, or Jean also eventually helping Gabby and Reiner at the end. This is such a good episode. This is such a good episode. Not just direction and pacing wise, but also thematically. This is such a good episode. I am so happy right now. And like even McGaff is showing compassion too. My head is starting to get a bit dizzy, so I don't think I'm going to be continuing any further, but we are at the end of the episode. Again, I want to say, beautiful shot. Asking for forgiveness, sometimes it's very hard to ask for forgiveness and then actually forgiving, but it is a step in the right direction. And now we are left here. This is where the episode ends. And if you notice, for anime onlys, if you still haven't noticed, we have a plane just sitting there waiting in the docks, waiting to be used. Unfortunately, the man, the myth, the fucking legend himself, Flock, is in the way. Fuck. That's it for my episode reaction and discussion for Final Season Part 2, Episode 9. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have stick around to this. If you have, thank you. If you do enjoy it, hit the like, subscribe as always. If you want to support me over at Patreon, links are in the description below. As I've mentioned, there is a poll going on right now, so if you want to participate in that poll, you can be a Patreon for just $1, and you can vote for whatever manga that you want me to react to in the month of April. That's pretty much it. Hope, again, if you do enjoy the video, again, hit the like, subscribe as always. Share the video if you want to, all that stuff. And I will see you all next episode. Episode 10. Man, final season is coming to an end. Episode 10 of Attack on Titan coming out next week. Hope to see you all there. Take care, guys.